Cardano, ADA or Ethereum, which is the stronger candidate to buy right now, today? I'm CTO Larsson, and we will conclude that today in this video. And if you like and subscribe, prices will go up. Thank you. Charts first, and Cardano, ADA to USD first. If we back up a little bit first, you can see something interesting here. It looks like a head and shoulders pattern. Here is shoulder, here is head, here is a right shoulder. That's a bearish pattern, but it never confirmed. For a head and shoulders pattern to confirm, it needs to break below the neckline. And it never did. Instead, it climbed over the level of the right shoulder. First this one and then this one too. And that's an even stronger bullish sign than the head and shoulders pattern is a bearish sign in itself. And sure enough, it continued to higher levels from there. Now trend is up, Larsson line is gold. The gold flip was on August 12th on $1.80. So same like Ethereum, which we will see soon. If you weren't in already, now is a little late from that perspective. But what is good news with this ADA chart, unlike the Ethereum chart, is that we have this key resistance level that has now flipped support. And that has now held this whole week. When price is close to support level, you have an opportunity for an asymmetrical risk reward. That means if price closes below support, your stop loss hits and you exit with a small loss. And if it holds, you're in. And you can then ride the price however high it goes. If we don't know anything else and assume that it's say 50-50 chance of either happening, this is an assumption, and say you risk a 10% downside, but have a 100% upside opportunity, that would be then a 1 to 10 risk reward, which is great. And 10% downside risk from current price levels would take us to about 2.2, which is below that support level. And could it go up 100% from here? Of course, 2x is nothing in crypto, happens all the time. Now let's look at the ADA to BTC chart. But first I want to explain something. I made 2 Cardano ADA videos recently. One where I explored the more positive sides, one where I explored the more negative view. And I think a lot of people misunderstood one thing. I said that at the smart contract launch September 12th, don't be so sure that price will pump, even if it's a successful launch. Because often the opposite happens. People sell the news instead. And I said, do set a stop loss at that time. Then a lot of you guys got very angry in the comments. But setting a stop loss isn't the same thing as recommending a sell. If price doesn't go down, it doesn't cost you anything. So what happened really? Well, it was a successful launch. The smart contract features were activated. So price went up then, and I was wrong. Or let's go down to the hourly candles. Here on the 11th, the day before, price was up here in anticipation. Then on the 12th at 6 p.m. UTC time, price was also up here. And then, look here, price went from 6k sats down to 5k sats in just 2 days. That's a big drop. That's what I told you, and I knew that I would catch flake for it, but I do hope that it at least saved someone from entering a leveraged long there and then get liquidated. From a technical analysis perspective, right now is a better point. We're now right above this support area, giving you a clear point where the trade would be invalidated and you could get out without much risk, while having a chance to get in should this continue from here. Before we continue with Ethereum, this guy Larsson, why doesn't he just tell us which one is the best? Well, maybe I'm too honest for my own good. This is how it really is, guys. To succeed in any market, you need to first realize that what people say on the internet isn't always what they do. On the contrary, someone who is looking to buy might try to talk down the price in public, highlighting all the problems. And don't think it's only some shady influencer avatar doing this on Twitter. No, big institutional funds, banks, people who can actually influence the price are more likely to do this. So how do we reveal what people do instead of what they say? It's not a trick question. We have the answer. It's the chart. The price action is the aggregate of what the players actually do when it's their real money on the line. If price goes up, there is more buy volume than there is sell volume, irrespective of what everyone say on the media. People who say they don't believe in technical analysis haven't understood that it's not some magic lines in astrology. It's just a way to uncover what the bigger players actually do before they reveal it in public disclosures and whatnot. Now let's keep that Cardano chart in mind and compare it with the Ethereum chart. But first, which chart to look at? ETHUSD or ETHBTC? During different periods of the market, I have used one or the other. At this point, I feel that both are relevant because some traders now trade at ETHUSD, other traders trade on the ETHBTC chart. That means that we will find key insights in both. We start with the trend. Lars Online has been a very accurate proxy for trend on Ethereum, basically since inception. Then I'm not going to start second guessing it today. And according to that trend measure, trend is up. But today is a little late to enter. The gold flip was here on August 7th at about $2,900. If you had the indicator, you saw that. Entering late is more risky because you have a higher risk of entering at the top and be forced to cut the position if it turns against you and your stop loss hits. So let's continue by looking also at the technical analysis. I regard these two lines as the two key levels here. This level here at 3,300, which we recently dropped below, but then recovered above again. And this level at 2,900, which comes from this resistance here, which then turned support and then held during the big dump on September 7th. That would be my cutoff point where I would close my ETH position should it break and close below. If on the other hand, this momentum continues and price climbs above the highs from early September, here at around 4,000, then I would find full confirmation that all stars are aligned in the sky. Lars Online is gold, meaning there is consistency in the trend and is up. We held above the key support levels and we broke through key resistance. Then I'll go fully 100% exposure with my Ethereum position. I use price tracking certificates in so-called ISK, but for this purpose it's the same. And if we look at ETHBTC, we can see two things. We are very close to this resistance area here. And if we just go a little higher, we're through that. And then, if that happens, look how close Ethereum is to flipping Bitcoin in market cap. That is a little scary proposition, but price right now is at 0.075 and the line here is at 0.161. That's only about 2x. By the way, I made such a valuable video 2 days ago about how to use TradingView faster and better. For some reason, YouTube didn't serve that one to most of the subscribers, so if you missed it, definitely watch it first and then come back here. You'll benefit from it every single day. I'll link it here. On Ethereum ETH, we are very close to getting a strong confirmation if we just pass through the early September highs. And then that could even warrant a new entry on Ethereum, even if you were late to the last Lars Online gold flip. So to sum up the three aspects. Trend. Lars Online is gold for both ADA and ETH here, meaning there is consistency in the uptrend at this measure, but the optimal entry has already passed. It was in August. If you had the indicator, you saw that. Technical analysis. ADA is resting on support right now. ETH would need to close above the early September highs to give us a new, similarly well-defined entry. But fundamentals then, which is the best? I've made dedicated videos on exactly that, ready for you to watch right now. The Ethereum video I recommend is this one. It has 5 scenarios that will guide you through this entire bull market. On Cardano, watch the positive one first, this one. And then you can watch the negative one after that. Thank you, tack.